Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I have another tutorial for you guys today. So it is this look I'm wearing on my face right now. It's pretty grungy glam and it has a bold lip, which I haven't really done on my channel yet. And I'm so excited about it. I love this look. This is definitely something that I wear a little bit more often than something neutral. If I'm at work, I'm wearing something neutral, but if I'm out of work, this is usually my face of choice. And I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I would love if you could subscribe to my channel, leave any comments for potential videos below, and I hope you guys enjoy. Alright, so I'm just going to start off with moisturizing my face. I'm going to be using my Edeval Laboratories Hydra Moisturizer. Alright, so next up I'm just going to tape off where I want my edge to be, so I am just angling it a little higher upwards than I normally do. I want this to be cut pretty sharp, and I also want it to be easy to do my eyeliner along this line as well. And as you can probably tell, I have already done my brows. So I'm just going to be taking a little bit of concealer and putting this on my eyes, just because I have some redness and eczema coming up on this eye. And I'm just going to blend that in. And I'm going to be using a glitter in this video, which is why I'm not using a primer on my eye, because it kind of reacts badly to that. So later on I will be using a glitter glue instead.
I didn't bring any fucking brushes.
So as you can tell in the intro of this video, this is going to be a little bit more of a grungy look. Grungy glam kind of look. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a mix of these two shades right here in the Morphe 35T palette and use this as my transition shade. And I'm just using my Wet n Wild crease brush. These brushes from Wet n Wild are so great, you guys. I definitely recommend trying them if you want some good brushes on a budget. I believe this crease brush was like $2.99 or $1.99 or something, and I use it just as much as I use my other crease brushes, which are from like MAC or Royal and Langnickel, and I love it. And it's super fluffy, so it's nice to blend with. So next up, I'm just taking a crease brush that is a little more tapered, and I'm going to mix in these two shades here, as I've got my finger in one of the colors. Oh my gosh. Get yourself together, Christina. So I'm going to use these two shades here, these two matte shades, and I'm just going to use a mixture of them, and I'm going to take this into the very deepest parts of my crease just to add some depth. As you can see, I'm not pulling it too far. You don't want it to go over that transition shade you built up, because it'll just look a little crazy. Ooh, I really like this mixture. And next up, I'm going to use the same crease brush, and I'm going to go in with this darkest plum shade, and I'm just going to take that on the outer V of my eye. And I'm bringing that also, again, no higher than the deepest part of my crease. So I'm just using this to create some depth to that outer corner. So I'm just essentially packing it on and then blending it a little bit inwards. Inwards, not upwards on this one. So today, my sweet lovely dog named Jupiter decided to eat one of my favorite Victoria's Secret bras that I'm pretty sure was like $60. And I was so upset. I literally picked it up and I went to put it on this morning and it was mangled. So that was great. Dipping back into this mixture here. And I'm just going to blend that deepest part of the crease. And just make sure you have no harsh lines or anything that looks too crazy. You want it all to kind of look blended and to kind of just softly blend into each color. Alright, so these eyes, our base work is down. Next up, I am going to take this shade here, which is this nice sparkly shade, which is really, really pretty. And I'm just going to be using a big C brush for this. And I'm going to pack this on the kind of naked parts of our eye. So just like that. And we will be going over this with glitter, so I'm just kind of packing it to add an extra color punch to it. Just because it applies a little bit better than going onto a naked lid this way. That is so pretty. Like, you could even do this if you don't want the glitter, but I'm a little bit extra as usual, so I do want the glitter. What am I looking for? Who knows? Christina, get your life together. Alright, so I'm going to be taking my Bitzy glitter glue. This stuff I just buy at Sally Beauty Supply, and it's like something like $2.99 each, and I'm just taking this on a synthetic hair brush. You don't want to use this on any floofy or puffy brushes just because it'll just wreck the hairs. So it's a synthetic hair brush, and I'm just tapping this on where I'm going to be placing the glitter, which is probably like the inner, a little more than half, a little less than third of my eye. Basically where we just put that lighter shadow. And a little bit higher than the crease because I want this to be, the glitter to be pretty visible when I close my eyes as well. So I'm going to be using my Stila Smoldering Satin Magnificent Metal glitter, and I'm just going to be taking this with the applicator and packing this on. So I'm just going to be, sorry, I just need a little handheld mirror for this part. So I'm going to let this coat dry, and while that's drying, I'm just going to be taking those first two transition colors and just kind of blending out the harsh edges of the glitter. And then I am going to be putting on a second layer of glitter just so it is nice and opaque. I find you have to work pretty quickly with these because they do dry fairly quickly. But they are pretty easy to blend when they are wet. Alright, and now I'm just going to apply a quick second layer of this. So how I applied the glitter the second time was a little bit more concentrated on the inner corners so that it kind of looked like a fade out into, out of the glitter. So next up, I am going to be putting on some liquid liner really quickly. I'm going to be using my handy little e.l.f. liquid liner. This is my favorite liquid liner for going over glitter because nothing works quite like it. So I am going to be using this guy today. And I'm not quite a pro at getting my liner on and showing you guys what I'm doing because it's so hard to do without a close-up mirror. Okay, so I took off the tape and I cleaned up any fallout, and we're looking a little bit more normal now. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the face makeup with you guys. So we did put my moisturizer on, but we didn't prime my face yet. So I'm going to be using my Urban Decay Pore Perfecting Primer today. This stuff's really good, and it's good for both oily and dry skin. I find it's not too much oil or too much dryness, so perfect. This is one that I love keeping in my kit for clients. Next up, I am going to be using the MAC Studio Sculpt SPF 15 foundation, and I am in the shade NC25. Oh, I just put a little bit much of this on. This used to be one of my favorite foundations, but I don't use it too much anymore, so we'll see how I feel about it and if the color is still on point. And just bounce that into your face. Some girls can like do their face makeup so well when they already have their eyebrows on, but I struggle a little bit, so don't judge me. So this is my face with one full layer of that foundation. I do have some left, so I'm just going to go touch up some spots like right here where you can still see some blemishes through. Okay, so now we're done with foundation. I'm going to skip to concealer. I was going to use Tarte Shape Tape, but you know what? I use that all the time, so I'm using one of my other favorite Holy Grail concealers. This is the Girl Pro Conceal HD Concealer. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit the highlights of my skin with this, as per usual. Y'all know the drill. This one is not as light as I want it to be, so hopefully we can make this work. Okay, so I think we made that work for what we had. I am going to go ahead and I'm going to be contouring my face, but I also want to use my Anastasia Contour Kit. I'm going to take the banana powder in here, and I'm going to just apply some to my eyes just to set this makeup and brighten it up a little bit. As you can tell, this banana powder works wonders. All right. And for the rest of my face, I am just going to set it with my Maybelline Fit Me Powder, and this is in the shade 110, which is like probably Pale AF is what the shade is called. I'm just kidding. It's porcelain, of course. So I'm just going to go ahead and set the rest of my face with this. And I'm kind of just pressing this powder in versus smearing it on, just because I feel like that gives me more of an airbrush finish when I use a pressed powder.
Need that lip on though.
Alright, so I'm going to skip to contour right now. I am going to be still using that contour kit. That's what I had out. And I'm going to be using this contour brush. This is from Royal & Langnickel. It's a little bit smaller and it fits in the hollows of my cheek really nicely. So I am just going to be taking the middle shade here. And I know this has changed around, so I am going to pop it out and let you guys know what that shade is actually called. Alright, so this is the Anastasia Contour Kit shade in the shade Fawn. So that's what I'm going to be using to contour today. So I'm just dipping my little mini brush in here, and I'm just going to purse my lips, and then I'm going to contour out the hollows of my cheeks. As you can see, it makes a big difference, even just adding a little bit of shadow there, just where your natural shadow is. And I am just going to be taking a little bit on my forehead. This just gives the illusion of a smaller forehead, and I like that. And a little bit coming in here on the sides. So essentially what you're doing is a big 3. So just 1, 2, and a little bit just under the chin. Not too much. You don't want it to look like you used a foundation that was too dark for you and then it just fell off your face. You just want it to look nice and hollowed out. So that is that, and then I am just going to be taking this like stubby end of this double-ended Tarte brush, and I am going to take the lighter shade that is not banana, which you know I should pop that out for you and stop being so lazy. This is the shade Vanilla. So I am going to be taking this on this dense end, and I am just going to kind of just take this under my contour where I normally would with my loose powder, and just kind of reinforce the contour. Oh, this works exceptionally well actually. And just blend this out a little. Perfect. So we are on to blush. I'm going to be using a MAC blush today. This is in the shade Breath of Plum. It's from their regular line, so everybody can still get it. And I'm using my MAC 66 as per usual, you guys. And just dipping this in here and focusing this more on the lower parts of our cheeks. When you focus your blush higher onto your cheeks, it makes you look like you have chubbier cheeks. So we want to kind of have a more mature feel with this blush. And nothing too crazy. I kind of want it a little bit more muted as it goes on super pigmented. Great. I'm just going to blend that out a bit. There we go. That's much better. Okay, so I'm playing around with a new product today on camera. This is the NYX Strobe of Genius Illuminating Palette. So it sounds really cool. I've only swatched this shade right here. So they don't have shade names, but it's the big shade in the corner, if that helps. So I'm just going to dab my brush in there. Okay, do you see that? That works. Okay, so this is really pretty. It's really gold. A little bit more gold than I expected it to be, but I'm not mad about it. I can make it work. It is really emphasizing the texture I have on my cheek here, if you can see that. But it's pretty, like I have 2 big bumps here right now, so I'm not too surprised by it. Ooh, this is really pretty. So I'm just hitting my normal spots. And I'm just going to grab a smaller brush. And I'm going to take that same color and I'm just going to highlight my brow bone really, really lightly. Just adds an extra pop, and I am going to take this in my inner corner as well. I hope it's not too dark. Oh no, that looks great. I really like that actually, if you can see that. Okay, this is actually really pretty. I kind of want to do a video comparing this to the Anastasia Nicole Guerrero and the Sun Kiss kit, so let me know if that would be something you would be interested in, as I got like highlighter in my eye. Okay, next up, let's finish up the bottom lash line. So this is pretty easy. I'm not going to do anything crazy. I'm just going to take my little e.l.f. smudger brush, and I am going to take this first shade we used at the bottom here, this matte, one of the lighter shades we used, and I'm just going to take that under the lash line, and I'm kind of taking it a little lower than I will take the other colors. Alright guys, so I'm going to be using this new mascara. I've been trying this out a little bit lately. This is the Superhero mascara from IT Cosmetics in the shade Super Black. So I really like this. It adds a lot of volume, not so much length, but it works well. I did just remove my mascara, so it's just having a little bit of a hard time running through it, but we're making it work. Oh, if you can see that, it works extremely well. Like, they are pretty lengthy, they're pretty voluminous. It's kind of an all-around good mascara, but I wouldn't purchase a full size. I'm not a huge fan of full size high-end mascaras. I would prefer drugstore, other than I always keep Benefit They're Real on hand for some reason. Alright, so I am just also going to use my CoverGirl Total Tease mascara just to kind of tease any clumps out of the lashes and add some more length. This is an awesome drugstore mascara. I definitely recommend you guys checking it out if you like Benefit They're Real, because this has kind of replaced that for me. And I'm going to use this one on my bottom lashes as well. And as bad as it is, I am going to curl my lashes. I know I've already put the mascara on, but that's how I like to do it. So that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so I am going to be using the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On pencil, and this is in the shade Tornado, which is kind of like a matte dark purple, and I'm going to use this on my top and bottom waterline. It adds that smoky effect without being as harsh as the black is, so it smokes it out more than just kind of is like bam in your face black, which I kind of prefer. Last step is lipstick. So I have one here today. This is from MAC. It's one of their retro mattes, and this is in the shade High Drama. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this. I don't usually use lip liners with these ones, so. Alright, so that's the finished look. I will back up and let you see it all at once. Alright guys, so this is the finished look. It is pretty glam grunge like I said in the other parts. And I hope you guys like it. It's something a little different for my channel, but this is definitely what I am most likely wearing when I'm not at work. I kind of go for that bold lip look. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you guys subscribe to my channel right here, and I would love you so much for it. And enjoy the rest of your weekend coming up, and love you babes. See you in the next video.